Hi, guys. It's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. You made it through a Friday. That's awesome. Okay. Oh my. I didn't see my intro. Do you guys see my intro? Okay, so there's a delay. I want to see why I didn't see my intro today because I have it on the other screen. There it is. I don't know what's going on with this YouTube thing, which is weird because they train us so heavily before we start our channel. So, we made it through a Friday. Whew, what a Friday. Whew, it was a busy Friday for me. I don't know how you guys did with your Friday, but I thought Judge Fleischer's courtroom was going to be a little bit more busy than it was, although it was busy enough. Don't worry. I banned 3 people, but that's a normal day. That's normal. I just don't understand why people can't, go to a channel like this and say what they want to say. Then work was really busy too. So it was a good Friday. It went by like that. So now you guys are ready for the weekend. If you guys are doing something extra cool this weekend, let us know. Type it in there so we know. I'm marking. All right. So we have an update today on an old, not old, it's not very old. It's just, I don't know, 2 weeks ago maybe. Days smushed together. Um, Landlord-tenant issue. And I don't know the end of it. I saw that I was getting the beginning and I stopped watching and I just recorded it. That way we can watch it together and we can see what happens. And then don't forget October 15th. If you're going, like, somehow let us know because I don't know how many people are going to be up in this courtroom that day. That courtroom isn't that big, but we want everybody to come who wants to come. Absolutely. You're all invited. So if you're saying you want to invite yourself, you're already invited to Judge Fleischer's courtroom on October 15th. And I'll get there when I get there. Just like my lives. I'll start them whenever I start them. All right, let's get busy. Let's get to work. I have too many windows open. Here we go. So I have to go to 3740. That's good enough.
Remain city, come to order.
All right. Let's get this one taken care of. If y'all come on up
No
to these
Hawaii.
2 tables, please. All right. So that I can kind of get some of this procedural history set, to kind of go over what I recall from a lot of things. There was an original suit in which one of your mother, filed a lawsuit to dispossess you from property. I found there was no landlord-tenant relationship between the mother and you. Mr. Shook, you then filed a dispossessory action against everybody that was in the property, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Miss Pruitt, your mother, did not show for that particular hearing and a default was issued against her, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. And now we're here on this particular matter for some continued issues related to some notice issues and some everything else that was related to the prior case regards to y'all.
Okay, do you guys remember the case? So last time we were here, these two over here, they live in this house. he doesn't own the house. I think his brother or his nephew owns the house, but he cares for the house because his brother or his nephew is in a different state, nowhere near. So he's like, he's the landlord, but he doesn't own the house. All right. So the mother was in this seat last time, and this is her daughter. I think this one is her daughter. One of them is her daughter. I don't remember which one now. So the mother wanted the daughter and her girlfriend to get out. Okay. The only problem is the girlfriends, they're the ones that pay all the bills. So they hand rent directly to this guy every month. All right. Um, and there were text messages going back and forth so that the landlord knew that these two were living there, and he discussed rent payments with them and pet fees. So they have some dogs, I think, that are doing some damage to the house. Um, but the judge said last time that that's not a reason to evict someone. So they pay rent. The mother didn't pay rent at all. She was behind, and this guy was just letting her go, letting her go. So the judge started yelling at the mother last time, saying, "You don't even pay rent." So apparently, since then, this guy has a default judgment against the mother. The mother has to leave. Okay, but these two are they have not broken the lease at all. They're not late on rent or anything. They have not broken the lease. So they're saying you can't kick me out. I think they're still only paying one half though. The mother's not paying anything. So now we'll see what happens to these two. Are they going to get kicked out or not?
Correct.
I'm sorry.
We had some notice issues in the first case related to them, correct?
Yes,
And that's
I didn't wait the 60 days, and I had to wait a little longer.
All right, understand. All right. So, with that being said, I'm going to start on this side. Go ahead and tell me what's going on from y'all side of everything.
When he filed the notice, he put for Vera and whoever else lives there. Well, I answered it again, and I have tried to pay him rent. But the thing is, he wants the full amount. So my part and her part, he raised the rent to $750. My part is $500. And I went to go pay him my part plus the pet fee. But that day he decided that he did not want to take any of it. And he said I had to pay through her mom, and I don't trust her to give the money because she will steal it to go buy pills and stuff. So I've been, for the past 4 years that we live there, we have given him the money for rent. And I told him that I will pay my part, not hers. Because the last time we was in court in July, she said that she was going to get a job. She still has yet to get a job. And all I do is work and go home. That's all I do. I don't have people over or nothing. And I even told him the things that are wrong in the house that I would fix. I wouldn't make it out of rent or anything. I would take it out of my own pocket and fix it. If he would just rent to me and my mother back there, which he said he would do, and that he would evict Vera. But now everything has changed and all that stuff. I even said I would pay the $750. I mean, I've been trying to look for places. It's not easy. So, and when the last time we was here, he said he gave a 30-day notice. No. In July, he gave a 30-day notice for the pets to be out of the home, not for me. The last time we was in here, August 28th, is when I heard that he did not want me on the premises no more. So I still have not got the proper notice. But like I told him last time, I was willing to pay the back rent if he will just let me continue to live there and make Vera leave. Because she's still there. She hasn't packed nothing up
Treasure
or anything. She was
X.
supposed to vacate
Hello.
or whatever within the last 7 days.
Thank you.
She's still there. So she has not left. So all I do is work, go home. I take care of my animals and everything. And I thought me paying a pet deposit for the past 2 years, that it would kind of, fix the damages of what they supposedly did. But we tried to replace the blinds last time. Vera Pruitt said no, because we was going to go and do it the same day that we left court to fix the blinds. And Vera said no. So I'm willing to, if he lets me stay living
know you
there, I will
are.
fix
I
everything
know.
that needs to be fixed. Because I've tried looking for places. It's not easy and it's not cheap. Because she's in rehab. So I'm still paying her part, even though she's not there. So, and I got text messages where I've offered to pay my rent and pay the power and water. And he tells me no. So I'm trying, because you said last time, if I break the lease, then that's the only way he can evict me. But the thing is, he redid the lease. I did not receive a copy and I have not been able to look at it. And when I asked Vera Pruitt to look at the lease, apparently she lost it. And I asked him the same day that I gave him the rent money, he said, I'm too busy right now. So I am trying to see what it says on the lease so I know what to be said and what needs to be done. And he's like, oh, the lease is the same. Okay, but which lease you talking about? Because you did a walkthrough in May. You didn't redo the lease until July. And when you did the walkthrough in May, I asked you certain things that needed to be fixed, and he said that he would fix them, like my ceiling fan in my room.
Hi, Bell. Welcome, welcome. You guys got to go. Everybody's been to American Court's site, right? Everybody has seen all of his videos, right? If you don't, are you on tonight, Bell? Go tonight. Go tonight at 8 o'clock for his live. If he does a live tonight at 8 o'clock. You might want to now, Bill.
It's still not fixed. And then he knew about the roof leaking. And I told him if he got the stuff, that I would get up there and fix it. And yet, nothing has been said. Like, I'm offering to try to fix these things, but nothing's being done about it. Because, like, I'm really not trying to be a butt about anything. Like, all I do is work. So,
How can I get in your room and fix your fan when you got a lock on the door?
All right. No. We're not going to go table to table. All right. I already know that this relationship is very tenuous as it is. So we're not going to go this way. Everything's going to go to me. All right. Do you have a copy of the lease?
I've got a copy of the lease, but it's between me and Vera, not them. They don't have a lease with me.
Okay. But you've been accepting rent money from them, correct?
Not partial payment like she says, and it's not been, the rent was divided into 3 ways. They paid their part, which I'm not disputing. They also, at one point in time, got pretty close to $2,000 behind, and I worked with them as well. The same way as I did with Miss Pruitt. I tried to give them a chance and an opportunity. The home don't belong to me. It's my nephew's. I'm taking care of it for him because I live next door. And pretty much what he tells me to do, I have to do.
Well, I understand that, but you also have to do what Georgia law requires.
Yeah.
So again, you accepted money.
I accepted money from them. I gave them, I told them that he wants the dogs out on account of originally they was to be no pets. They told me when they moved in a house with Vera, they would be 2 or 3 dogs. I don't remember exactly which it was. It was 2 or 3 dogs, and it's wound up being 6 dogs and a cat. And the home, my nephew doesn't want the home to be a kennel.
But there was no written lease between you and them, correct?
You know what?
There was no written lease between you and them.
No,
Where's the lease that you have with Ms. Pruitt?
it's right here. And I told her she could see it anytime she wanted. She just had to catch me when I was not busy and had something to do, and she never did.
I was watching chat and I missed what papers he's looking at. Is that the lease between him and the mom? I think it is.
When was my prior case? The Pruitt one.
Maybe this
It was
wasn't.
July.
Yeah, it was July.
Okay, it wasn't 2 weeks ago, like I said, guys. It was July.
During that time, the lease was at the point of needing to be updated.
No, with Vera Pruitt versus.
It was July 18th is when she filed it.
Dismissed on July 3rd.
July 3rd.
My doggy needed me.
All right, and so on this particular lease that was redone after the original lawsuit between Pruitt and Pruitt Delph,
Yes.
when, who all was there for this? Just Ms.
Vera.
Pruitt?
I can't get them to stay still long enough to do anything. They don't want to deal with me. They want to give me this excuse. I tell them I want to fix something at the house. She says, I need to work and all this, and you need to come back when I got time. And I can't get in her room to fix the ceiling fan that's falling down from the top of the house because of the lock on the door. And I told Vera, I said, we had to have, Vera is the one that was originally rented the home.
Mhm,
she allowed them to come in.
mhm. But you also, all right. What is the status of Miss Pruitt currently?
She told me last night, I texted her last night and asked her when she was vacating the home. She said she would be out by this evening. Whether she does or not, I don't know.
Okay, and
And,
what?
and she has accused me of telling her that she could stay there, that she didn't have to move, and that is not true.
Okay. But I am going to call you out on one thing,
Okay.
because I do know this for a fact. The writ has been sitting for 25 days.
Do I?
The writ has been sitting for 25 days.
I know I have, yes.
And you have not requested court services to set her out.
I called the sheriff out the day the court gave me the writ.
Court services has no record of that.
I called the sheriff out. I did. I've got three
If you-
witnesses at
If
my
you
house.
called the sheriff out to your property,
To my property, I called the sheriff out and I told them that she said she needed a few more days to get out. I told them I had no problem with it if it was not a problem. They told me do what I wanted to do. I didn't see what a couple of days would matter.
well, the part that matters is that your writ expires at 30 days. And right now, I'm tempted to not issue a new writ for Miss Pruitt, which would make you have to go through this whole process all over again because you have delayed.
Yeah.
The other thing that is very suspicious to me is that the issues that we had and were dismissed on July 3rd in this courtroom are then amended into a new lease. Do not shake your head right now. You are lucky that I'm allowing you to actually be there and do what you're doing in this courtroom. You are not a property manager. And as far as I know, you are not an attorney.
I'm not an attorney, no.
Okay. Which means that you technically are practicing law without a law license by representing your nephew in court. And I'm letting you do it under the idea that you were some property manager.
Well, I've got the paper that he asked me to do it for.
Do you
And,
get, are
and
you
of course,
getting
I'm not an
paid?
attorney, yes.
Are you getting paid to be property manager?
No.
All right, then you're not a property manager.
Right.
Next time you come into this courtroom related to this property, you best have an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. The issue that I have is that this is very suspicious of retaliation to them.
But it wasn't.
It's suspicious of it. You have to understand that you had in court on the 3rd, you had created at that point a lease agreement written with Ms. Pruitt and verbally with them. Okay? You can have a verbal lease. I don't care if your lease is verbal or not.
Yeah.
It makes my job harder. It makes your life harder.
Yeah.
All right. So, but you can't just come up with this new lease when you technically have a lease with everybody that only has one party on it. And you can't just go in here after we know that there's an issue with pets, okay, and just unilaterally change that lease term. Once it's spelled out and once there's this agreement, leases require mutual consent of both parties.
So in other words, they're allowed to keep their dogs there, even though my nephew doesn't want the home destroyed with the dogs.
No, what I'm telling you is that the way that you have gone about all of this is wrong.
I've tried to do it right I mean,
Well,
Like
I
I said, I'm
understand
not
that,
an
but you know
attorney,
how
so I
many
don't
times
know.
I have people in court for criminal charges saying that they didn't know that that was against the law, and that don't matter.
Mhm.
All right. If you don't know what you're doing, you should hire an attorney and get it
Right.
figured out. You know, that's the thing.
I'll not do that.
Yeah.
No.
So now, here's the thing. I believe you 110% that when it comes to August, when was the original dispossessory filed? The he filed against all of them and them.
That
Where-
writ was issued, it was filed in August. It was filed August 12th. Writ issued the 20th,
And that was the writ for Pruitt, all right, August 12th.
and it was dismissed against filed.
Right. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Ultimately, as poorly as this has all been handled, we can all agree that on the date of August 12th, when a dispossessory action was filed against everybody, that was an idea that he wanted y'all out. Okay. And while I do not like it at all, and it is not an appropriate way to file a 60-day notice, because I've read the pet 30-day thing, and that was not noticed to them that they needed to be out. I count your 60 days as running and beginning on August 12th. Okay. Now, that being said, we have until October 11th for the 60 days to be effective. All right. I am not going to bring this case back inside this courtroom. You don't need to be coming back and forth from Athens. I mean, you're already doing what you need to do. So I just don't want to have to do that. What we're going to do in terms of you for right now is that I'm going to allow the dispossessory to go through, assuming that you are out by October 11th. I will dismiss the case against you. Okay. The reason why I do that is because if you're out by October 11th, I don't want a dispossessory on your record for anywhere else to see. All right. There's nothing I can do about that. If he has basically said on August 12th that he wants you out, that gives me a clear 60 days, and I'm bound by law to do that. Okay. With regard to everything else, at this point in time, like I said, I do think there's some very suspicious things that have been going on, and I am not going to require any monies to be paid
That's fine.
through October 11th. And I expect the Miss Pruitt to be out.
I'm looking for it too. If it's not happened today, there will be consequences.
Okay. Just understand that you have until September 27th for that writ to expire.
Right. Let me write that down.
So if she's not out by that particular point in time, you're up a creek without a paddle. And I will tell you,
Yeah, I think I got this on the 25th. So this was 2 days before the 27th, because that's how math works.
the sheriff's office, they're not, sometimes they're quick and sometimes they're not when it
Yeah.
comes to set out. So my one bit of caution to you to fix all of this and get this all just out of everybody's hair is that I would not squander these last 2 days of the writ.
Oh, it'll be on top of it.
Okay.
I promise that.
In consideration of the suspiciousness that was going on, I'm not going to award court costs to the plaintiff or anything like that. And
That's fine.
we'll call it a draw as it is right now. Okay. What I would ask is that you just provide my office with confirmation that you have vacated the property. And once you do that, I will dismiss the case. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
And they have until when?
October 11th.
But
October 11th.
When this is him when if he
Okay.
turns around, guys.
Anything else?
This is the landlord.
All right. That's all I have for y'all. Mr. Shook, if you want to go ahead and go,
All
we'll
right.
send stuff later.
do I need to come back after a writ or anything?
What's
For
a
them?
writ?
I highly anticipate that they're going to be out at this point. If not, then yes, a writ will issue. But then it'll be the normal writ with 7 days passed to be able to vacate the property before it's effective.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Your daughter's precious.
Oh, here's Mr. Shook.
Shook. He's shook. He's shooking now.
That makes sense. Yes. With a 7-day stay. Yes. Yes. And then if they're out, a dismissal. And at this point, I'm not going to issue an extension on the writ for Ms. Pruitt.
Did a choice.
In the next 2 days.
Okay. I wasn't going to say it, but he's letting her.
I don't know if he turned the feed off or if it's just hung up. We're just going to wait a sec. I wasn't going to say it, but he's just letting her. Oh, no. Look, his arm is turning the feed off. Yeah, we won't get to hear what she was about to say. Well, now we have an update and they're out of the house. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but
I'm off to Texas to see Judge Fleischer, and I am so excited.
I am totally Australian and going to see Judge Fleischer. All right, we're going to go to Fleischer right now. It's probably not going to be a 2-hour stream today, guys. It's probably going to be a little less. That was you, Rebecca. Wasn't that you? Just kidding. That was CJ. Wait, hold on. Was it CJ? Let's see.
I'm off to Texas to see Judge Fleischer, and I am so excited.
That was me. That was me. Okay. Casey, making it green. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just looking real quick. Hey, No Weapon was just in here the other day. All right. Time to go. Let's see if we can find. It was Friday, so
We didn't have enough mods, but I think, yeah, I think we're covered now. So, all
I was
right,
there.
nerds, you ready?
I was the only mod that he got worried.
Hey,
And I
it's
said,
ready?
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Here we go. I have someone in the waiting room that's trying to get in, and I don't know if this is a
Intro.
lawyer or not.
Outro. In the middle of the streams, I play whatever you send me, and now you say this to me. Now you do me dirty like this. This is why I'm single, guys. This is exactly why I'm single. Damn men. Where's this intro that I did not play? You're gonna have to resend it because there's no intro. Oh, is that an intro? Is that? I don't know what this is. I haven't heard it yet. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna play it. If I get demonetized, I get demonetized. Here we go.
Hey y'all, this is Kathy. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Fozzie Vibes channel.
Fonzie vibes. Okay. In my defense, he put the intro right below a picture of a naked woman that he sent me. So I just sort of scrolled on by. And that's the truth.
Let me just real quick see if this is. Okay,
Page 1, Adam.
Philip Adams. Yes, sir. Mr. Adams, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On 9/20, officers were dispatched to 17460 Northwest Freeway in Harris County, Texas, in response to a road rage incident. Complaining witness was traveling on 290 when the defendant cut her off in traffic and began driving aggressively. Complaining witness exited and defendant followed her. Defendant pulled up next to the complainant and threw rocks at her car, damaging the windshield. Complaining witness stopped at a parking lot and called the police while the defendant continued to circle her car. When officers arrived, defendant was gone and complaining witness provided physical description of car and license plate. Officers located D, who was at a nearby store via flock cameras. Defendant and defendant's car matched the description/license plate, and defendant was positively identified by CW.
Mr. Adams, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you violate these conditions, I will arrest you, put you in jail, and make your bond extremely high. You will not get any more PR bonds out of us. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive like this again or have any more road rage incidents, I will take your ability to drive. Let me tell you that living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows. Do you understand? It really, really sucks. Don't force me to do that, but I will do it next time if I find that you do it again. Exercise patience. You never know who you're messing with. They might have a gun. You know how many people get shot in Houston because of the same thing? So I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. I'm gonna have you then take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions, we'll have you sign it, and then we're gonna let you go. You need a lawyer to represent you in this case, so we're gonna give you time to get one. When you come back, please have a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Can you run his license just to make sure he has a license, please?
That's it. Come on up.
Okay, good. Is this Derek Addison?
Page 4, that's it.
Oh. Good morning, Mr. Bessis. Mr. Bessis, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
Yay, thank you, Fozzie.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 19th, 2024, officers were dispatched in response to a family violence investigation. The officers met with the caller and the defendant. The officers went to detain the defendant. The defendant refused and would not place his hands behind his back. Officers ordered defendant to place his hands behind his back. Defendant refused and actively resisted by pulling away and moving his arms.
What was the investigation for?
It was a family violence investigation.
Is he doing anything wrong?
So the officer just advised him that he was being detained just for the purpose of the investigation. Gonna look and see what.
Do you have anything that he's doing wrong that would cause the Bessis?
Citizen Z got a membership.
We're taking a look, Judge.
Sure, take your time. There's no rush, really. I just want to make sure we get it right. That's it, you know?
So the complainant has told officers that the defendant began throwing things onto the floor, and he was upset and started to become verbally aggressive towards the complainant. The complainant stated that the defendant wrapped his right hand around the complainant's neck and pulled him down to the floor.
And so they came to investigate, and then he's just, okay. Mr. Bessis, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, what do you do for a living, sir?
Currently retired. Retired military, and then I just started on my social security.
How much do you get from Social Security a month? Okay, do we know, does the complaining witness want to have contact with him? And who is the complaining witness? Is it
Stepfather.
stepdaughter?
Stepfather.
Stepfather. Stepfather. How old is his stepfather?
83. Just a misunderstanding.
Don't. But how much trouble can an 83-year-old create? Come on, man, it's like a little kitten.
It wasn't like it sounds.
All I need to know is whether he wants to have contact with you or not, because if you're acting aggressive and not being nice to him, I'm going to forbid you from having contact with this person. And if you live with this person, then that means you're not going to be able to live with him.
Yeah. I mean, that was.
Well, you're saying that, but I don't know what his side is. Do you guys
Linus, are you here?
know?
I don't, but I can try to give him a call.
Let's do that.
Darkest,
So
thank
what I'm going to do, Mr.
you.
Bessis, now is I'll appoint you a lawyer, and we're going to have the DAs reach out to him to see what he wants. I want to honor what his wishes are. And if he says he doesn't want to have contact with you, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with him. If he's okay with it, then I'm going to order you not to have any threatening or harassing contact with him. What you also need to understand is what is threatening or harassing Doesn't matter what you think. It's how he perceives. So if you start acting aggressive, I'm going to put you back in jail. All right, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then we'll just have you take a seat at the jury box for now, sir.
All right, Judge, we're gonna call up the Spanish arraignments. Page 6, go ahead and sign for your receptor.
What if we say no?
And I say yes, so that's all that matters. Page 6,
Victoria said,
Caballero, come on up.
Ay, ay, ay.
You made me.
All right, go ahead and have a
What,
signature.
you're here?
No, she just wants to go do something and I'll be back.
¿Qué tal? Me llamo Luis, soy el intérprete. Solamente mire el juez. Un poco más aquí. Dile nada más en español, por favor.
Eneli Caballero,
Yes, Ron.
Miss Caballero, you were charged with prostitution. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent.
hold on, guys. This is very important. Linus, are you here? Are you here, Linus? Look what I found today. Can you see what that is? It's the, oh, it's so tiny. Stupid waffle. It's the Stroop waffle. Stroop waffle. I got one in America, but it was at a gas station. So I'm expecting it not to be like yours at all. But it's not crunchy. It like bends. It's like bendy. Oh, but it is caramelly. I know you said that my camera was off the whole time. I got a Stroop waffle. I was expecting it to be like crisp, but it's not. It's like bendy. It's like soft and bendy, but it is caramelly. So now I'm working here, Fozzie. So now I can taste a Stroop waffle. I just hung up on Fozzie. He's gonna be really, really, really mad at me. Somebody get him a beer.
Silent. Anything you say can or will be
That's
used
good.
against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On September 19th, 2024, officers were conducting an undercover investigation at El Punto de Oro, a club in Harris County, Texas.
What's it called?
El Punto de Oro?
Punto de oro, a gold point.
I thought you said the other word.
Right? No. Meanwhile.
Officers had received a tip that there was a vice-related transaction being conducted at the location. Officers had a conversation with dancers.
Oops, I hit the wrong button. I didn't mean to hang up on you in the middle of my live stream. I just hit the wrong button. Bye.
Defendant Caballero, where she agreed to have straight sex for $100, penis to vagina.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you not to go back to this location. I'm also ordering you not to engage in this type of business anymore. If I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail. What, are you a citizen of the United States? Are you in this country with or without permission?
With permission.
I don't know if you do have it, or really, to me, this just doesn't matter. But you need to know that if there's any problem with your immigration paperwork, when you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will sit in custody until this case is over. Could be 6 to 9 months that you'll sit in jail waiting for everything to pan out. You understand?
Yes.
Don't violate any of these conditions. I see that you have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer. Because you do, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Garza and Associates. And then they will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they cannot get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone elsewhere, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
¿Entendió? Sí, señor o no, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to wait for your lawyer back. Thanks, guys.
Have a seat in the jury box. Next judge is page 6, Halil Perez.
Wow, guys. Melissa looks stunning today.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Un momento. Solo mi después, como ya le, hacia aquí, por favor.
Kal El, isn't that Batman or Superman's father? Is it? No, what is it? Anyways, we'll get there. Mr. Kal El, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Attorney, not afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 22nd, officers were dispatched to 6047 Beverly Hills Street, Harris County, Texas, in response to major crash. Officer arrived and observed defendant's car in a ditch with defendant sitting on the trunk. Complaining witness stated that he was driving when the defendant pulled out of an apartment complex and struck the front quarter panel of the complaining witness's car. Defendant then drove away without exchanging information, hit another car, and ran into the ditch. Upon arrival, officers observed glassy eyes, unsteadiness, and strong odor of alcohol. Officers attempted SFSTs on scene, but defendant was unable to perform due to his state of intoxication. Defendant attempted to bribe officers with 3,600 pesos, and officers transported him to JPC where SFSTs were performed. 6 out of 6 HGN, 8 out of 8 walk and turn, 4 out of 4 one.
A little slower, please.
Okay, sorry.
Remember, he's.
That's my first step.
Okay, where should,
Sorry, you're doing wonderful. Just a
okay,
little
no,
slower.
you're fine. Where should I start?
Just after the 3,600 pesos.
Defendant attempted to bribe officers with 3,600 pesos, and officers transported him
That
to
it's his first
JPC
day.
where SFSTs were performed. 6 out of 6 HGN, 8 out of 8 walk and turn, 4 out of 4 one leg stand. DIC read and defendant consented. BAC 0.227,
God.
0.235.
Mr. Kal El Perez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Are you a citizen of the United States? Are
No.
you in this country with or without permission?
Permiso, sin permiso. No.
What happens if you go to jail? I want you to think about this.
Quiero que lo piense para
This is a
responder.
very important part in your life right now.
Parte muy importante de su vida, señor.
What happens if you go to jail?
Si usted va a una cárcel,
Arruinó mi vida.
I'll ruin my life.
Yes. What else?
¿Y qué más?
No está bien lo que hice.
It's just not good what I did.
Talk to me about that.
No estoy hablando de esa
You
parte.
need to know about the future. You need to know what happens to you if you go to jail. So I'm trying to get you to realize what happens if you go to jail. Because
I'll lose it all,
more or less,
más o menos.
immigration will put a detainer on you. You will sit in jail until first that this case is over with, and then you'll be shipped off to immigration. I will tell you now, because you have a felony open, that felony will take about 9 months to a year to resolve, and you will sit in custody the entire time. And then you'll be shipped off to immigration, and then you're going to wait another 6 months in jail, waiting for that to resolve, and then they will end up deporting you to your country of origin. If you do not want that to happen, then don't violate these conditions I put on you now. If I find that you do, I'm just going to put you in jail, and I don't care who you have here in your life, who depends on you. My main concern is public safety. And if I find that you endanger public safety, that's it. You said he had a .26, right?
0.227, 0.235.
I am now ordering you to obtain a handheld interlock device that you're going to take with you everywhere you go to prove to me that you're not consuming alcohol. You do not have a Texas driver license, so you are not allowed to drive. And I'm going to tell you now, nothing makes me more upset than when someone drives without a license. You will be signing today an affidavit. This is a promise you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. And I don't care what your excuse is. Do you understand?
Yes, señor. Sí, señor o no, señor. Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
You will be randomly tested for drugs and alcohol likewise. If I find that you're consuming anything, I'll put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond double what your felony bond is. How old are you, sir?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
22 años.
22 years of age.
What do you do for a living?
Remodelación.
Remodeling.
How much money do you make a month?
$2,500.
Perdón?
2,500.
Around $2,500.
You live with?
¿Con quién vive usted?
Con un hermano y una tía.
Brother and an aunt.
Tucky in the house.
Where are your folks?
¿A dónde están tus padres?
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
How long have you been here?
¿Cuánto tiempo lleva aquí?
2 años.
About 2 years.
How did you get here?
¿Cómo llegó aquí?
How did you get here?
¿Cómo llegó aquí?
Cruzando.
I crossed over.
We do not want people in our country
Personas en nuestro país
if they're going to create trouble.
van a crear problemas.
And we have places for people who are here who take advantage of our country. You are not in this country with permission. You are not allowed to be here. At a minimum, you should.
Linus, I was just about to stop the stream to say those exact words. I couldn't do that. Okay, if the judge was speaking English to me and I had to repeat in English to the person beside me, I could not do that. And he is just amazing. I mean, it's just amazing how he can do that at the same time. Lights Rage. Fozzie keeps telling me how, you watch all the time. And I know you do. And I know you're in the hospital right now, listening to this video, just listening. And, I'm just happy you're here. Thank you. And thank you for all your comments. They're awesome.
Should not be creating trouble. One false move, I'm going to light you up. And I want you to understand that. Do you understand?
¿Usted entendió, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Let's have him apply for an appointed lawyer.
Okay, so, Fleischer.
I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I don't care that you're 22. Your age makes no difference to me. All that matters to me is if you're a danger. You have been given a warning now. Heed this warning because you will not get another one. No alcohol, no drugs, right?
Okay.
Did you get
I just translated that from English to English and I did it fine. So maybe I can do English to English, barely.
everything? Okay, got it. All right, come on.
I don't think he does, and here's why. We asked him that question if he does, and he sort of like laughed it off, and he's like, "No, there's nothing like that in Spanish." But so I don't think that he translates it like that. I think he says that you're going to be stuck in jail, but I don't know for sure.
Déjame mano derecha.
No worries.
You said Sergio, right?
Yes.
Okay, venga para acá.
Take no rush.
Solo miro el juez y le contesta en español nada más, por favor.
Sergio Samuel. Mr. Samuel, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September
Mike, you're
22nd,
22 de
2024,
septiembre de 2024,
officers were
oficiales fueron
dispatched to a
despachados
possible DWI with a
caso de
follower.
bribery con un
Deputies arrived
siguiente
and conducted a
perseguidor.
traffic stop
Oficiales llegaron
at the
oficiales para
5800 block of West
Caso
Park Tollway,
5800
which is a
West
public
Park Tollway,
highway
que es
in
una
Harris
vía
County,
pública en Condado de
Texas.
Harris, Texas.
The caller observed the
Llamaron
defendant
observó
strike the left
que
and right
el
barrier
variante le
walls
pegó
and nearly
las
striking other
paredes de barreras
vehicles.
izquierda y derecha, casi pegándole a otros vehículos.
Officers observed a
Oficiales
strong odor of
observaron un fuerte
alcohol
olor de
emitting
alcohol
from his breath,
emitiendo de su aliento,
urination,
se veía
slurred
orinar,
speech,
el habla arrastrada,
swaying while standing
tambaleaba
and
al
walking.
pararse y al caminar.
Defendant admitted to
Acusado
consuming
admitió
approximately
consumir
4 regular-sized
cuatro,
can Heinekens while at a friend's house.
regulares de trata de Heineken en la casa de un
SFSTs
amigo. En estudios de
conducted
terreno se realizaron
6 out of 6
6 de 6 pistas
HGM,
en stand horizontal,
6 out of 8 walking
8
turn,
pistas en camino en giro
and 4 out of 4
y 4
one-leg
de 4
stand.
pistas en el paro de una tierra.
Defendant was
El
detained
acusado fue
and read
detenido,
DIC
se le
and
leyó la
consented to breath.
consentimiento previo de aliento.
0.174
0.174
and
y
0.172.
0.172 fueron los pruebas de alcoholismo.
Mr. Samuel, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Caso.
Are you in this country with or
¿Es
without
con
permission,
permiso o sin
sir?
permiso?
Sin permiso.
Without permission.
What happens if you go to
¿Qué
jail?
pasa si usted va a una cárcel, señor?
¿Qué pasa?
What happens?
Yes.
¿Qué pasa si va a una cárcel?
Voy arrestado. Voy arrestado. Y no y me encierran.
I'd be arrested and I'd be locked up.
What else?
¿Y qué más?
Y hay probabilidades que pues me puedan mandar para mi país.
And there's possibilities that I could be sent back to my country.
That's what I want you
Eso es lo que
to
yo quiero que usted
understand and
entienda
realize what you are
y
facing.
revise lo que está enfrentando cuando va a una cárcel.
Sí.
You will
Yes.
sit there for
Usted va
about
a
6
quedarse
to 9
de
months
6 a 9 meses
for that to happen.
esperando para que eso pase.
You're not in this country with,
Usted no está en este país
you're
con
not
permiso.
here. You must be on your best behavior. Otherwise, there are dire consequences.
Cuando está aquí debe estar de su mejor.
It doesn't matter what you've been here for your entire life. 1 month, 2 months, if you're not here, if they catch you, it's just not going to go well. I'm putting conditions on your bond now. I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. If I see that you consume alcohol or dope, I will put you in jail. You do not have a Texas driver license, do you?
No.
No.
Then you are not allowed to drive.
No manejar.
Do you understand?
¿Entendió, señor?
Sí,
You
señor.
will be
Yes, sir.
signing a promise with me likewise that you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days every time you drive because it's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand?
¿Se entendió, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, sir?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
21.
21.
What do you do for a living?
¿A qué se dedica? ¿En qué trabaja?
Jardinería.
Yard work. Yard work. ¿Con quién está aquí en este país?
Pues con un familiar, con familiares, tío.
Family member, an uncle.
Where are your parents?
¿Dónde están sus padres?
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
It's like I'm hearing double.
Estoy escuchando aquí el doble.
They just send you here by
¿Ellos
yourself.
simplemente te mandaron aquí a solas?
Lafayette,
Ah,
from True Blood.
Sí, yo vengo por necesidad de que pues, mi país está crítico.
Yeah, I come here because, out of necessity, things in my country are pretty critical.
I get it,
Yo lo entiendo,
but don't bring your troubles
pero
in.
no traiga sus problemas
We
para
don't
acá.
want it.
No se comporte de mal manera, no
And
es
if
lo
you are going to
queremos.
be a public
Y si
danger
va a
here,
ser
I'm going to tell you now,
peligro para el
we
público,
don't
lo voy a
want
decir,
you here
no
if
te
you're going to
queremos
act
aquí
like
si vas a
this.
actuar así de esta manera.
This is the only warning
Esta es
that
la
you're
única
going to get.
advertencia que usted va a recibir de mí.
Take it
Samuel,
and
tómela
either do well with
o
it,
haga bien con
or
ella.
you won't get another
o usted
warning.
no va a recibir otra
If I
advertencia.
find that you're using any alcohol or any kind of drugs, if I find that you're not
Ah,
acting like you're supposed to,
debe ser
or if I find that you drive, that's it.
hasta ahí.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give him another application
Le
as
voy a dar
well.
otra solicitud también para
Give you an
que
application for an appointed lawyer, but understand that you're walking on very thin ice,
está caminando sobre una capa de hielo.
please.
Hacia allá, por favor. Ya lo van a solicitar. Por favor. Levante la mano derecha.
Vic, who's this?
Mrs. Vasquez on page 19.
Got it.
Y todos están viendo en español, no dejen nada en blanco. Sí, aquí, por favor. Hola, Cayer. Perdón, la molestia. Sorry about the wait. Solo miro el juez y le contesta en español. ¿De dónde eres? Guatemala.
We just had this gentleman here because this gentleman had a public lewdness case where he was apparently
Aparentemente,
and allegedly having sex in a car with another woman, and now
ahora,
he's picked up a new case.
nuevo caso. I'm sorry.
You now stand charged, Mr.
Yeah.
Vasquez, with driving while intoxicated.
Ebrio.
It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. So you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Officers observed the defendant driving with his hazard lights on, slowly swerving through lanes of traffic. Officers conducted a traffic stop. Defendant did not roll down the window. Officer opened the driver door and asked the defendant to step out. Defendant came out slow and uncoordinated. Officer smelled strong odor of alcohol, slurred speech, droopy eyes. SFST 6 out of 6 HTM, 5 out of 8 walk and turn, 3 out of 4 one leg stand. DIC was read and defendant consented. Breath 0.199 and 0.20. And Your Honor, I also think that it's important to mention that in this previous case, the public lewdness, the defendant was also intoxicated in the back of the car in that case as well. And so this is kind of the second time that this has happened.
What is the one thing I ordered you not to do, Mr. Vasquez?
Hiciera, señor Vázquez, ¿qué fue lo que yo le ordené que no hiciera? ¿Qué fue?
Pues la verdad, pues así fui, pues legalmente me pidió favor, pues a un compañero de apartamento.
Well, just, you know, she asked me for a favor, you know, we're apartment complex friends
What
and.
is the one
¿Cuál es
thing
la una
I
cosa
ordered you
que yo le
not
ordené a
to
usted
do?
que no hiciera? Es la una cosa que él le ordenó a usted que no hiciera. Piénselo.
O que la ley que me dijo que nomás que me pararon, pero no para yo buscarle, pues buscarle el para no causar tráfico, me fui.
Well, you know, the law stopped me, and well, what I did was, you know, I just didn't want to cause any traffic. I need another interpreter.
I'm printing that out, Vic. Can you bring it? Let me have it, please.
Escuche las preguntas que le hace el juez, hombre. Sí. You're doing wonderful. I'm Luis, by the way.
I love the
Natural flow work, natural speed bumps.
¿Qué es eso?
¿Qué es eso, señor? ¿Qué es eso? Esto quiere decir una declaración juramentada de no manejo. ¿De quién es esta firma?
Es mío.
Quiero que tú ves. Hey. What's his name?
Samuel.
José Vázquez.
No. Quédate ahí. Quiero que tú ves. ¿Qué me dijiste ahí? ¿Qué me dijiste?
¿Qué estás diciendo en este papel?
Que no puedo manejar.
Michael, Linus, how difficult is it to watch my chat? Because it's Judge Fleischer's courtroom and all these chats are going through. And you guys haven't deleted one of them. But it's hard, isn't it? Not to delete chats. Oh, I can't say that. Oh, I can't say that. Oh, wait. I see something was. Yep. I'm wrong. I just noticed that I'm wrong. But it's hard for me to watch and like, oh, you can't say that. Oh, you can't. Oh, yeah, you can. You can say that here. You can say that here.
I won't be able to drive.
Ajá, que no podía manejar y manejé. Sí.
That I shouldn't drive, but I drove.
What happens now?
¿Qué pasa ahora? I'm going to be arrested.
Correct.
Correcto.
Not only that,
No solo eso.
I will now have a hearing,
Ahora voy a tener una audiencia.
and if they prove to me that you were driving, you will be facing 180 days in jail.
80 días en una cárcel.
So now I am revoking both of your bonds,
Revocando sus dos
and I'm going to
fianzas.
set them extremely high.
Dejarlas extremadamente altas.
It goes with you.
El oficial. Va con el señor.
Yeah.
On Sandra, Samuel, did you do bond conditions? I just heard the no drugs.
Yeah, no driving, no drugs, no alcohol, random UAs. I
Thanks
didn't
for
put a
stopping
device,
by,
because
Roland.
it's not as high as a gentleman.
Thank you.
All right, Judge, page 8. Escada. Ruben.
Is that the last Spanish speaker?
Yes, Judge.
Do you have an arraignment?
I have a bond violation.
Okay, let me just, sorry, do you have anywhere else to go?
No, this is all I have today.
Okay, let's do the arraignment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just skip.
This is Esqueda?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On page 8.
Ruben Esqueda,
Yes.
you were charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
The complainant and the defendant were dating at the time of the offense. On 9/21/2024, officer was dispatched to a disturbance located at 724 West 11th Street in Harris County, Texas. Complaining witness was asleep when the defendant began yelling and screaming at her. Complainant could not understand what the defendant was saying due to the defendant being high on mushrooms and intoxicated. Complainant decided to leave the residence to avoid an altercation. Defendant then grabbed both of her arms, causing pain. Complaining witness tried to get away from him, and the defendant scratched her on both of her hands and forearms, causing pain.
Do we know if she wants to have contact with him?
It looks like someone reached out and spoke to her. I don't see anything about no contact, but she said that she just wants him to get help and sober.
Mr. Esqueda, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system right now. And you're to come back. If you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will issue a warrant, and I'm going to make it extremely high. You will not get any more PR bonds. As of right now, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. And if you continue to use, I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in a rehab facility. Do you understand? If you are not, now, I'm giving you the opportunity to stop on yourself. If you're unable to do it, I'm going to do it for you.
Linus, every time I deleted something today, it said Linus. Do I think I wonder, I think it said it the same one for the different one. Yeah, whatever. You deleted it, I deleted it. It told you court vibes, it told me leanness.
For you. And I promise you're not gonna like the way that I did it. Do you understand? Okay. Vic, I'd like to send up for a drug test and then we'll have them come right back.
All right, right this way.
Okay.
Next
Judge,
judge
he
is,
also has a portable device on the magistrate docket.
Does he? Okay, so let's have him test now, and then when we come back, we can discuss it. Thanks.
okay, right this way. Go ahead and sign for your reset, please. Page 8, Fleming, come on up.
I know what we can do, Linus. You get the bottom half of the chat and I get the top half of the chat. So you get the first hammer, and if it squeaks by you, then I'll get it. Maiko, you just keep doing you.
Mr. Jaworski, do you have an arraignment? Good morning, Mr. Fleming.
Good morning.
Mr. Fleming, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On September 20th, officers observed the defendant driving 80 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone on US 59, Harris County, Texas, and initiated a traffic stop. Officers observed odor of marijuana and conducted PC search. During search, officer found handgun under the driver's seat, a container with a green leafy substance under the driver's seat, and a plastic bag with white powder believed to be cocaine. Defendant admitted ownership of gun and drugs.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm sending one more for you. Okay, Mr. Fleming, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm sending you for a drug test right now. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You're to come back immediately after the test. If you fail to come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, sir?
19.
19. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
You have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you run his license, please? I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to use any illegal substances and not to be in possession of weapons. If I find that you violate these conditions, likewise, I'll put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so for now, we'll have you sign a reset. We're going to send you down for a drug test, and then you're to come immediately back. We'll wait for your lawyer to get here as well. Okay, all right. Please.
I think he's gonna join a Zoom call. That's what he told me.
I don't see him yet, but as soon as he gets here, we'll address the reset and everything. Okay,
Thanks.
please. Great.
So this is where Judge Fleischer works, and his floor is somewhere right around here, which means he's low on the totem pole. Look how many courthouses are above him. Look at this building. This is so intimidating. So I can get a bunch of court streams from this building. And I don't know where they are and I don't know what they mean. But every day they go, that's crazy. That's a big building, and everything is bigger in Texas, Kelly. Yes, you're right. You are right.
Thanks.
Page 9, Garza, come on up. Garza Moses.
They are all upstairs from him, and he's on the 9th floor.
Good morning, Mr. Garza. Mr. Garza, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months.
Sorry, Mr. Garza. I have one more comment. I bet they have a kick-ass cafeteria, though. We'll have to ask Victoria when they come in if they have a cafeteria. If they don't have a cafeteria, I'm going to be so upset.
In jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 21st, 2024, officers observed defendant's vehicle without taillights during nighttime hours and running a red light at an intersection of Aldine Bender Road and Aldine Westville Road in Harris County, Texas. Traffic stop was initiated. Officers made contact with the defendant. Officer observed a strong odor of alcohol. The defendant stated he was coming from a gas station, was heading home, and consumed no alcoholic beverages. SFSTs administered, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, 1 leg stand 0 out of 4. Officers read DIC and D declined Brett. Blood search warrant obtained and executed.
You said you had the strong odor of alcohol, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Our
Mr.
courthouse
Garza, I'm going to find that
cafeteria
there's probable
stinks
cause to go
blood.
forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Has he ever been arrested for DWI before?
No, Judge.
Okay. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Can you run his license, please, just to make sure he has one? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to advise you now that if you like your driver's license, get on it quick. Don't sit there and wait a month or two because you're only hurting yourself. We're going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll meet with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. All right? Please.
Right this way.
Great. Thanks.
Gaskin. Page 9, Judge.
Jasmine, you're in trouble.
Good morning, Ms. Gaskin. Ms. Gaskin, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Officers were dispatched to a motor vehicle accident in the 10199 block of North Eldridge Parkway, Harris County, Texas. Complaining witness stated that the defendant rear-ended him and they pulled over into a nearby parking lot. When the complainant walked up to the car, he observed that the defendant was slumped over in the driver's seat. Complainant stated he could smell a strong odor of alcohol from the defendant. When officers arrived, defendant told officers she had 2 beers. Officers observed slurred speech and glassy eyes. They performed SFSTs, 6 out of 6 HGN, 4 out of 8 walk and turn, 2 out of 4 1 leg stand. DIC read and D consented to Brett. 0.226 and 0.237.
Oof. Any prior DWIs?
No, Judge.
Ms. Gaskin, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes.
Can you run a license, please? Do you have valid liability
Sounds
insurance
like a
in your
field
name?
trip. Go check it out.
Then you're not allowed to drive. And I'm making that a condition of your bond. If you want to drive, go get liability insurance, prove it to us that you have it, and then I'll allow you to drive. As it stands now, I'm ordering you not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock.
That's what we should do on Monday, guys. On Monday, that's what we should do. We should all go to our local courthouses and get lunch and take a picture of it and put it in Discord and see who has the best lunch. I am probably going to have the worst lunch, just letting you all know that. That would be so cool. And then while you're there, you could watch a court case or two.
I'll arrest you, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Call in sick if you work.
Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for now, you're not allowed to drive, so we will have you get a portable unit that you will take with you everywhere you go. What do you do for a living, ma'am?
I work for a learning center.
Oh, so
A learning center.
you've been there?
Okay, what kind of income do you have, ma'am?
I get paid twice a month, approximately 22.
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks I get paid.
Okay, we're gonna reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. You need a lawyer to represent you. If you like your license, I would get on it quick. Don't sit there and wait because you're only hurting yourself. You understand? Okay, so I'm gonna have you go to Victoria.
Fine. For those of you who don't have a cafeteria in your courthouse, go to the hospital, use their cafeteria.
Sign a reset. I'm gonna also have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. Ms. Gaskin, I want you to take it extremely serious. I just am now gonna have a contempt hearing on another person earlier today that violated our no driving affidavit. He's sitting in custody now, and I'm gonna make his bond $50,000. So don't violate this. When I say no driving, I really mean it. Okay, and I mean, if you can get liability insurance today and prove it to us today, I'll allow you to drive.
His strip mall, you can get tattoos, go to court, and then go to a little diner. Great one shot.
Today, but no driving until you have insurance. That's the law. All I'm asking you to do is follow the law.
My license is valid.
Thanks.
Fine, fine. Don't go to the cafeteria. It was a bad idea. I stand corrected. Fine. Don't go to the hospital. Don't. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I will get you to Victoria. We're gonna have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get with pre-chop for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go, man. Did you file guardian interlock paperwork? Okay, please.
All right, Judge, next is page 11. Hernandez, come on up.
It sounded fun, but I guess not.
Benny Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 22nd, 2024, officer responded to assist on the scene of a crash at 1520 block of College Avenue in Harris County, Texas. Officer made contact with the defendant, the driver. Officer observed slow speech and odor of alcohol. Defendant stated he did not know where he was coming from or how he ended up at the location. Defendant stated that he consumed 6 drinks but was not sure what kind. SFSTs administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk-in turn 3 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. Defendant was read the GIC and refused breath. Blood search warrant obtained and executed. This license is valid.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid, you say you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Oh, yeah.
I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond.
Okay, I always thought about the Australian lifeguards, but how about those Australian police officers? Can you get some pictures? I want to see. And maybe some voice recordings if it's not too much.
Not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, you will go to jail. You will not get any more car bombs. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. We will randomly test you. If you find that you're using and whatever it may be, I don't care whatever it is, you'll go back to jail. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire lawyers. So I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll get with pre-trial for your bond conditions and then you're good to go. All right.
All right, Judge, page 13. Loyola.
Australian firefighters would be too much for me. That's too far.
Alexandra Loyola. Ma'am, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
The complainant and the defendant were dating at the time of the altercation. On September 19th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance and met with the complaining witness who stated that both the complainant, both her and the defendant were intoxicated and got into a verbal argument. And he tried to grab his keys and leave. The complainant tried to grab his keys and leave. Defendant then punched complaining witness multiple times with a closed fist with both hands, causing pain. Officers observed complainant to have red marks, bruising on the back of his left ear towards his neck, and a scratch on his forehead. Officers attempted to detain the defendant. The defendant became combative, kicking the officer on the front and back of his leg, causing pain.
Yeah, I see that she picked up the assault of a peace officer as well. That must be a heck of a video. Ms. Loyola, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any alcohol or dope, and I don't care what it is, I don't care whatever source it is, you're going to go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? Do we know what he wants?
I see that a call was made. It says that he wants no threatening, harassing contact with the defendant.
The protective order been issued, yeah. It looks like a protective order has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you as a violation of a protective order. And that's one of the worst cases you can pick up. You start violating conditions there, I can hold you at no bond. Zero bond until this case is over with, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in my town. Do you understand?
Please, sir, please don't have a case again. So, how would I do for him? Let him have him?
Let me ask you this, though. Has CPS been involved in your life? What's going on with that now?
They just went to my house, they did it, they just talked to me, they're gonna go to his house, talk to him, and really it was self-defense, he had assaulted me
I'm
before.
not talking about the case. I'm not doing that now. All I'm saying is that now this is your,
Lena spells one word wrong and the chat loses it. Guys, it was just one
third
letter.
case that you're working on, right? You've got young kids. What's going to happen if you go to jail for 6 months? Who's going to take care of those kids? What do you think they're going to say? Hey, where's mommy? What are those kids going to say? I'm not saying anything about your kids. I'm telling you now, I don't want you to have contact with this person. No contact whatsoever. And doesn't matter to me. I mean, you're going to have to find an intermediary for the kids, but just no contact and no weapons. And I'm going to tell you now, if you continue to pick up cases, just kiss the kids goodbye. CPS will take them in a heartbeat. And I'm going to tell you now, when CPS gets involved in your life, it gets extremely not only expensive, but time consuming, arduous, and your life is going to go even more sideways than it is now. So no alcohol, no drugs, no contact. That's all I'm asking to do now. And don't pick up any new cases. I will.
For those of you who wonder, that is not happy birthday like Google Translate said it was.
Tell you that I won't give you any more PR bonds. So all I'm asking you to do is just behave. That's it. What do you do for a living, man?
I'm a subcontractor for HUD.
Sorry?
I'm a subcontractor for HUD.
Okay. And what kind of money do you make a month?
2,500, maybe less. Right now school is low. So I work for,
It's congratulations.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
yes.
Okay. Let's see if I have an application.
I hope she spells duck wrong next.
All right. I have an application on file, Vic. We can appoint a lawyer. So I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat at your box. You will meet with pre-trial for your bond conditions. And after that, we'll have you talk to someone here shortly. You're walking and you're skirting a thin line. Just be careful what you do. You understand, man? Okay, please.
Judge. Mr. Garza wants clarification on his bond conditions.
Say it again.
He wants clarification on his bond conditions.
Okay, what clarification do you need?
Doesn't know if he needs a portable interlock device.
It's a first, right?
Yes.
I don't think, what's less, Garza? I don't think I ordered one. Moses, right?
Micah, time yourself out. I want to see.
No prior DWIs, right? Yeah, no, I didn't order. I don't, just no alcohol, no drugs, and random UAs.
Just you didn't order what?
Interlock on Garza. Top of, or,
Oh, Garza Moses?
yeah, I didn't. Just, Mr. Garza, don't force me to put one on. Don't use alcohol or drugs. Otherwise, then I will. Do you understand? Don't use anything. All right.
All right, Judge, next is page 17. Sims, come on up.
Good morning, Ms. Sims. Ms. Sims, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present to begin on a fourth one. One will be 22. Okay.
On September 21st, 2024, officers initiated a traffic stop on a silver Hyundai sedan for failing to make an immediate right turn onto a public roadway and turning into the number 2 lane in the 14500 block North Freeway in Harris County, Texas.
Wait, what's the stop? Because he turned incorrectly? For real?
I can read the offense report for you really quick, Judge, and make sure that's what I have right here.
Keep going, we'll get there. We're gonna
Upon
have-
approaching the
I can't
driver,
sleep myself. It
the
won't
officer
let me.
observed a heavy odor of marijuana coming from inside the vehicle and detained the defendant, who stated she had smoked marijuana earlier but did not provide a time. Probable cause search was performed on the vehicle, which revealed a .25 or 25 caliber handgun in the defendant's purse, as well as several marijuana roaches and blunts, which had mostly been smoked already. Total weight of marijuana was found to be 0.1 ounces. Further search revealed a sealed blue baggie in the center console containing 1 pill, which officer believed to be ecstasy. Pill was weighed and found to be 0.2 grams.
Okay, so the stop was for, come again?
So the stop was for, I think, making a right-hand turn and instead of making immediate right.
Love, I need a warning before you say something like that to me. Just stop my heart.
Turning into the other left lane.
So Judge, if you think about it like a 3-lane road, she's on the right lane, she's supposed to turn into the furthest right lane for public safety, because if there's people coming from the other side of the road making a left turn,
So she goes into the,
she goes into the middle of the road when she's supposed to go into the right side of it.
is there a particular statute that they cite that violates? I'm curious.
We can find a judge.
No rush. And I guess let's finish and then we'll come back and revisit. Ma'am, I'm gonna just have you take a seat real quick so we can do a deeper dive,
Yes,
okay? Please. Just don't leave.
Yes, sir.
Judge, he failed to show up for his test on Monday, but he recently switched over to the night shift at work. He worked Sunday night, and by the time he woke up on Monday, it was 4:45, and they had already stopped testing for the day.
You're supposed to let pretrial know of any changes.
Then I'll start arguing with myself. Why did you time me out? All I did was blah, blah, blah. He did it again.
Of your employment, of where you live. I'm sending you for a drug test right now, drug and alcohol test now. And I'm gonna tell you, if you ever fail to go again, I will put you in jail. This is the only time that I'm going to let it slip. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna send it for a drug test now. If
Get her.
it's clean, bond
her.
will continue. If it's dirty, we'll have to address with that at that time, but it's not gonna happen again.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what your excuse is. If Mother Teresa tells you that you have to go to church instead of coming to take a test, we are the most important thing in your life, not your grandmother, not your this, no. Because if you don't comply with the bond conditions, there's only one place you end up. Okay, all right, thanks.
That's pretty scary, Tokyo.
What time is it? What time do you want to go back? I'm nearly done and I can have it in about 15 minutes. And then I can stop by again, later on, when it's up there, just text.
Tested for alcohol, amphetamines, benzos, cocaine, opiates,
She
PCP.
tested positive for
No, Judge.
just the THC, right?
Right, just the THC. But I'm saying the Avera Health System tested her for full makeup of.
Right. You're ordered not to use anything. That includes marijuana. And if you're using, I'm gonna put you in jail, ma'am. You
know how many people I said had a 10 IDT error all the time, and they had no idea what I meant. And I would tell the other people, and they would be like, my other IT would be like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna have a hard time fixing this one.
on complete and full notice, you sign paperwork to the effect that you're not supposed to use anything. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and you must come right back. If you fail to come back, I'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand me? Okay. So I'm gonna send her now. She should be back within the next half an hour and we'll go from there.
System, because I do have,
I think it's
He already
important to
knows.
note also just that she's tested positive twice in 1 month for using marijuana. It's one of the violations that's alleged.
A pain in my ass.
So I'm gonna send her now. I want to know what if there's anything else, and then I'm gonna have her come back and then we'll talk about where we go from there. But I'm not happy with you, Ms. Lewis. This is not a good thing. Okay, just take a seat. We'll send you here momentarily, man. Take your time.
No, that's my coffee holder. Yes. Johnny D. Hi. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Victoria. She knew everybody was looking at her. Oh, I missed one. I missed one. I missed one. I got to back it up. Melissa, where? Hi, Melissa. Hi.
sí te trajeron, sí, ¿verdad?
Mr. Vestas, did you hear what she said? No. Okay, go ahead.
So we were able to get in contact with your stepdad. And he stated that he does not want contact and wants you out of the house.
Not go back to that location, Mr. Vestas. I don't know what to tell you. Do you have somewhere else to go?
That was Melissa.
Who do you have around that can help you?
I'm going to skip this one,
And
guys.
just
You can
for,
see it on history.
I understand that there was an underlying domestic violence.
Don't. Don't. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Barrera. Mr. Barrera, you're charged with failure to identify oneself while being a fugitive from justice. You also have a criminal mischief. It looks like as part of the plea bargain, Omar, they're going to dismiss the mischief, right? This charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You are now facing a minimum
Kelly, I didn't hit 8,000. You did. You pushed everybody over the edge.
of 90 days in jail for any new charges that you pick up. And I'm going to tell you, if you come back, life's not going to get easier for you, Mr. Barrera. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Self-control. All these cases are about self-control. Exercising. I'm doing my best to exercise self-control on you now. But at some point, I'm going to lose my shisa and it's just not going to go well on you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial. right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense, sir?
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty.
No, it's
I'm
not.
going to
It's
sentence
ours.
you to the agreement. Did he have a bond violation, Omar?
That's the one we put for next Friday. I came here yesterday. It was a bond violation for past curfew. He was coming in late for work. He works for Amazon and his shift is over like 2:30. But because he's been ordered not to drive, he doesn't have reliable transportation and he arrived late getting back.
On probation or parole at this time? What are you on probation for? Where? What did they do with that?
They issued a warrant. They're going to court on November.
I'm going to tell you now that the outlying counties outside of Harris County are extremely tough. They don't get easier. Fort Bend, Brazoria, Brazos, they're more difficult, a lot more difficult than Harris County. So if you're on probation and you pick up a case, this now can be used to revoke that probation over there. Do you realize that, right?
Let's
You
count
pleading
together.
guilty now, they can revoke the
1,
probation. And the more criminal
2.
cases you pick up, the higher likelihood you have of that happening. You now will be required to pay court costs in this case. If you don't pay court costs, I'm going to put your butt in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. But we were going to ask to see if the court would assign court costs concurrent.
He has bond violations, has an open probation case, and no, he's going to be.
The open probation cases prior to these cases, the bond violation was really from getting home from work late because his ride come to come up.
How do I know? You know, you're going to be paying court costs today, Mr. Barrera. If you don't, I'm going to keep you with me. You understand? Omar, I'm not going to continually reward this fool. You know what I mean? At some point, you're going to pay the piper. And if it's having to go to prison, but people aren't going to continue to help you over and over and over, Mr. Barrera. It's now time to pay the piper, figuratively
Or
and
when you
literally.
quiero Taco Bell.
Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
I thought you were bringing up. What the hell does this mean? I mean,
Judge, she just introduced
all
herself
the
to
rest
you.
of
That's
the-
Shannon, by the way.
Adams?
Record her.
Morning, Judge. Ready, bro?
Hi, Day.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I know. I know.
To what do we owe the honor?
Here, Judge. We're here for,
Treya, happy Friday.
He's wearing a bow tie and you're wearing a tie. It's off.
I know.
that is
Right now.
unusual. It's usually the,
That's usual. but
we're here for Mr. Nebedum. He's wanted
To
out of,
approach about a bond, you want to bring her on?
I have someone in the waiting room that's been waiting for a long time with that same last name.
I bet it's his family.
Adam,
It's probably his family.
I'm scared to now let people in because of all the porn bombs we get, you know? So I'm now really, really reluctant to just let anybody in because
that's alarming.
I can't believe
we
they figured
get
out.
bombed all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then we have like a little, just people out there and, because they hear that, no. So anyways, tell me.
The judge, he's wanted out of Pennsylvania for
That was my exact reaction. After I watched it like 7 times to make sure I knew what it was.
6 offenses. He's wanted for fraudulent document insurance.
Hold on, Dave, hold on. He needs to hear this.
Yes, sir.
It's only fair since it's his case that he gets to do it, you know? You spoke to him, Shane?
I have. I just spoke to his family last night too. They called to hire. I didn't take any money, don't worry. I was like, no, I'll just get it.
It's up to you. I mean,
No, I was gonna get it either way, so. I don't wanna,
it's nice of you though.
you know. So anyways,
But no good.
I agree. I know, but you know, I try to put some good karma out into the world. I
No,
don't know.
if I could give you $1 million.
Thanks, Judge.
So,
Wouldn't that be nice?
dream. Just want to eat.
I just want to make Dave's salary. I'm sure he's making big bucks in
I
general.
don't know.
Rice and chicken, so.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
When did y'all do this?
Melissa,
Get some rest.
she's amazing.
She worked hard today.
You know, just it's, and then I got a fog machine. So for Halloween, we're gonna have a fog machine here, and we'll have like, yeah, it'll be fun. Good morning, Mr. Nabetum. How are you? So a couple things. You were wanted out of another state. Well, hold on. So we have you in custody now because you're wanted for some reason. I don't know. We brought you out because typically what happens is someone wants me to set them a bond so they can go back to where they're wanted from, so they can turn themselves in instead of having to wait for whatever jurisdiction that is to come get you. I don't know who you are. I've never met you before. The only way I really get to know you is how you look on paper, because that tells me really who you are. Not words out of your mouth, because everybody here tells me it's all rainbows, right? But all I know is that you're wanted. Well, tell me, Mr. Kim.
So Your Honor, he's wanted out of Pennsylvania for 6 offenses. He's wanted for fraudulent document, insurance rate, determination.
back
2 is
here.
conspiracy, fraud document of the same. Number 3 is false insurance claim. Number 4 is tampering with the public record. Number 5 is insurance intent to defraud. And number 6 is unsworn falsification for authorities for a forged or altered document. And so Pennsylvania has requested this court to give him no bond. The issue that I have with this one is, although he has no prior history, it's effectively an engaging in organized criminal activity. Obviously, I'm not licensed in Pennsylvania, so I don't know how they struck their charges there, but he, along with 6 others, submitted 9 fraudulent claims, and it came to alert that there was no evidence backing it up. But the issue with these charges is other documents were fraudulently created to create the backstory for the fraudulent claim. So it's an extensive a history of
All within Pennsylvania, or is it out?
yes,
So they-
all within Pennsylvania. And so him with 6 other defendants, over 9 claims, it hits around six digits over the course of a year and a half. And so this was between 2021 and 2022. And after the investigation,
2021, that old.
2021 to 2022, these.
I can absolutely confirm with 100% confidence that telling people to be nice in chat does not work at all. There has to be a different way to make someone be nice.
For over a long period of time. And these are just off of this one, I think it's like 3 different insurance companies, and I don't know how many more there are, but to the extent of this warrant from April 2024 is that's what they're charging now. And so.
When did the charges get filed?
The charge got filed April, so the warrant was issued that same day, April.
Did he have notice of this, or is this a 2B?
It's a 2B, Judge. It was April 18th. And so, and it was extensive enough that the charging agency was the Office of Attorney General and not the local DA's office. So it's pretty extensive. But that's my concern is.
So your position is we hold him at no bond?
Yes, Judge, until he's returned to Pennsylvania.
And you've talked to Pennsylvania?
So the special agent, yes.
Know when they can come and get him?
That I don't know, because they were waiting on the word from this approach.
So Judge, he's 25 years old. 29, I keep saying.
Okay.
25, 29, 20, He's 29 years old, no criminal history. I mean, the only allegation is this Pennsylvania fraud stuff from, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He's had no other arrests, no other issues. He's full-time in a trade school, getting an IT degree. He has a car, and he also says he's flown. But now that I found out that it was April 24, that makes sense. So you probably flew before then. So we talked about him being able to drive up there. He's got a car. So he could turn himself in. He had no notice of these charges. It wasn't like he was an FTA or anything like that. And so with that, we request a $4,000 bond. I think that he's invested in going to turn himself in. He's never been in Orange.
No, you said no criminal history?
No history other than this, Judge, that I could find.
What happened with the other co-defendants?
I don't know. I didn't get the documents on the charging instruments on the co-defendants.
If I set a bond, it's definitely not gonna be 4,000. It's gonna be way higher than that,
What,
you know? I don't know, because you don't even want me to set a bond.
No, Judge, just with the extent of the fraud and the ability for him to falsify documents to that extent, I don't feel secure that he will actually return to Pennsylvania at this time. Just because of how many co-defendants and with the extent of the fraud and the fact that other co-defendants are now in play if he's released, so. All those
Okay,
concerns.
I don't know. I mean, I just, what ties he has to the community, what ties he has over there. I mean, how do we know that he's actually gonna go back and set him a bond?
Let me give you a little bit of background. His parents used to live there in Harrisburg, it's Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I believe there's a state college there, and he lived there for a while.
I'm right near there.
Sorry. Went to school there. His family then moved to New York. Those are the people that I talked to last night. He is down here in Houston. He's only been here 6 months, so it's not like he's like set here. He's actually okay with going back there. He's fine. His family has indicated that they'll help support him to in any way to have him go back.
I don't know, let me think about it. Let me
Maybe it's
thin out
something
the
that we can
line.
even do like a 7-day, well.
Well, also, it is worth noting, one of the charges is for the fictitious document, one of the fictitious documents that he presented to the insurance company was a falsified driver's license. So I can't even verify whether he's actually licensed to drive, just based on the charging instrument. I haven't run separate on, so.
I need more. I want more information as what happened.
Well, I can read,
Why-
I can read out the
Let's,
for each charge list.
can I
Yes.
just get them out and then, because it's gonna take a bit more time.
Yes, Judge. I'll stand down.
I want to consider it, Shreya, but I want a little bit more information.
Yes, Judge.
Ready?
Yes. Judge, he went over to get his drug test, everything came back negative. Amazon, yes, the bond
Up, sir.
violation.
So Amazon was negative? Okay. Okay, Mr. Amazon, I'm glad that you tested negative. It's not gonna happen again. You're on notice now. You need to do whatever you can to make the next time if they call you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. All right.
Judge, I have a motion to settle this one as well.
And it's early, so whatever you want.
Okay.
Of course.
Wow.
Hey,
Judge, I was just appointed to Tyron D. Williams.
but that's why, you're the best.
Well, thank you, Judge. So
That's right here. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Vasquez.
Morning.
Do you have a car?
No, sir.
Don't drive.
I drive.
Don't drive, please. Don't.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vasquez, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. How many does that make it, John D?
Priors, Judge?
This is your third driving while Mr. Vasquez,
Yes, sir.
this is your third driving while license suspended. If you get pulled over in a car, what's gonna happen?
Go to jail?
Right. Is it a good idea to drive a car?
No, sir.
Right. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you cannot change this.
Yes, sir.
I am going to suspend your license for 6 months. Do not drive.
Okay.
How do you plead to the offense, sir? I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. Good luck to you, sir.
Take care, okay? You guys take care.
Hi, Judge, back again. This one's off topic, Judge.
So, Mr. Kim, I'd like to know what happened. what's it all about? Are
I
they
can go through the PC once, sure.
buying cars or doing it
No.
fraudulently? Are they, what's going on? Are they
That's-
dangerous? Is he dangerous?
So it's,
I mean, before, we need straight, but
yeah, it's just the extent of it. It's not buying the vehicles, it's fraudulently claiming things on vehicles that may not.
Dangerous person is what I really want to know.
I just talked, are we talking about Micah?
Yeah.
I just talked to him, Judge, and I'm gonna tell
I was
you.
gonna say,
Well, and I told him, I know, but I told him, I said, he's got everything, so let me know. And he's like, no, I'm telling you. He says that he got into an accident in New York, like in 2018 or 19. There was an insurance claim. And so everything comes out of this insurance claim where he had an insurance, but then they're saying he submitted a false address. So it's legit like a civil issue, which I guess the AG took on because of, I don't even know. But
Really?
it's one accident. He has no co-defendants. Maybe they're doing multiple investigations,
No,
but
it's-
he's not related.
They are, because they all 7 of them use the same address, which is obviously what alerted a little bit of a concern. But yeah.
He's
I
saying
mean,
he doesn't know any of these other people.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Abel,
Well, hopefully it'll be easier depending on how vehemently Abel opposes. But this one is case number 2530846 for Ralderis Green.
okay,
The demanding jurisdiction alerted yesterday, which was good of them, one day after he signed the waiver and asked for an extension of 2 days because of manpower. They have a lot of scheduled pickups that week and they're concerned that they're not gonna be able to pick
at a
them up.
Miami-Dade for sexual battery, under 18. What's D18? No serious injury.
One moment, Judge.
How would they know that they need an extra 2 days?
Well, they're asking for pickup on the 11th. So he's currently set on the 10th for the last pickup day of 9, so they believe they can come by the 11th. It could be half a day. I feel like Abel was just like, no.
He's going to bat for his client, and I understand it, and I'm never going to begrudge you for tenaciously,
I know what you do, Judge, but I have to object.
I know, and I'll give you the 2, but that's it, no more extension.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
Of course. All right, come on up, Shrey.
I always end up with that.
Okay. What's that name?
And DJ, last name is it Nabita?
That's right. Okay,
Nabita.
I'm gonna set you a bond, okay? I want you to understand that we mean business there. You can't run forever, okay? You have to go answer these charges, okay? If you don't, what's gonna happen is you just can't run forever. They're gonna catch you, and I'm gonna tell you, if you don't go back, I mean, you're old enough to understand that actions have consequences, right? Here, there will be dire consequences because I'm gonna set you a bond. I'm setting your bond at $10. I'm giving you a very low bond, but I'm still expecting you to go turn yourself in. And I want you to understand that if you don't turn yourself in, I will revoke the bond. I'm gonna set it at 0, and I will never give you another one. I want you to understand that. The next time, if you don't go turn yourself in, I'll set it at 0. I'm gonna get you because you can't run forever. Try to get on a plane, they're gonna arrest you. So I'll get there. But if you run and I catch you again, I'm gonna hold you now until Pennsylvania comes to get you. And I don't care if you're kicking, screaming, that makes no difference to me. I'm now giving you the opportunity to go turn yourself in, right? I'm only charging you $10 to go do this. So really, do yourself a favor, right? Don't get on a plane. You still have a warrant for your arrest now. If you try to get on a plane, they're going to arrest you. You need to find another way to get to Pennsylvania other than a plane or some other way. Typically, most people drive, or they find someone to take them.
Yes.
And now that you're really tall. I'll explain everything to you in the back, okay?
Have any questions? Mr. McGee?
Thank you very much, Judge.
Just make us proud, Okay.
Do you need a copy, Shrey?
No, I'm good, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
X-ray, thanks. Mr. Kim, you, all right.
All right, Judge, tell me, page 8.
Just get it, come on up. Tell me, what does the complaining witness want in this case?
So Judge, per the complaining witness, she wants the defendant to come home for moral support.
Are kids involved?
I don't see any children that were
It's Mr.
mentioned.
Skinner. How many children do you have?
I have two.
Do they currently
Baby's at home with her, he's 2.
have kids with this complaining witness? Okay. 2 of them. One, and it's the 2-year-old.
He's 2-year-old.
Okay.
His birthday's October 29th.
Piece of advice. When CPS gets involved in your life, it's an absolute nightmare. You will have to hire a lawyer. You will have to do family
wouldn't know.
plans. You'll have to do all kinds of crazy things. When you pick up cases, when you have little children, especially when drugs are involved, they're invariably at some point going to find out and make your life a living hell. No more. I'm going to drug test you like crazy. I tested you today, you came out negative, which is great. But I'm telling you, I'm going to continue to test you. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And if I find that you're using, and I don't care what you are using, I don't care what it is, because this includes alcohol. So if you try to tell me, oh, I was taking mouthwash, I don't care. You cannot use anything that has alcohol in it. You cannot use PCP, mushrooms, psilocybin. You can't use marijuana, anything with THC in it, oil, gummies, vape pens, tequila lollipops. I've heard it all, and no means no. If you have a problem, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you, and I promise you're not going to like the way that I do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Are you okay with him going back home?
Judge, no, and the reason being is the offense report indicates that this defendant entered the room where the complainant was sleeping with their one child, being aggressive towards her, screaming towards her, and assaulting her in front of the child. At this time, the state does not believe that it's appropriate for the defendant to be in the vicinity of the complainant or his child.
What about what she wants to?
We understand, Judge, but in domestic violence cases, you know this, Judge, better than I do. 99% of the time, they want the defendant to go back into the home. They always want that. The state's position is for the safety of the community, there at least be a cooling off period of 30 to 60 days. And then, Judge, we can reapproach and see if something's changed. If everything's still cooling off and it's fine, then maybe we can reconsider doing it. But at this time, our position is not to allow the defendant back in the home.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an inspector. X code trim, we do high pressure valve systems.
What kind of income do you make a month?
Well, if I make overtime, about 3.
What does your wife do?
Nothing.
Just takes home? When was the order of protection placed?
No, I didn't go through CPS. I just took her.
Look at what the magistrate did with the order for protection.
Jessica.
Michael,
Yes, Judge.
take a look.
You're asking when it was signed, Judge?
Yeah, initially I was like, but it looks like that the magistrate even allowed him to go back home.
Right, I understand, Judge. I don't know what the prosecutor told the magistrate in probable cause docket. I honestly don't know. I'm just here telling you what I know from looking at the offense report. And I know that this defendant did this, conducted this behavior in front of his own child. Aggressive behavior, assaultive behavior, intoxicated on who knows what.
I mean, it certainly does concern me, the
Right.
use of mushrooms, especially, you know, I never like to, you know, take fathers away from their babies because they need it, but luckily.
I was the process.
You're opposed to just a cooling off period of 30 days and then we can reapproach and reconsider this.
All right, we'll do it for a small amount of time, just cooling off. I don't want you to have contact with this person for now. I'll set your case off only 2 weeks. Come back 2 weeks. You need a lawyer to represent you. If you have any issues finding a lawyer, if you're unable to, come back and we can talk.
I asked when I was in jail for a court-appointed attorney. So financially.
And
not able to pay for
MIRC.
one. I'm having to pay rent right now where my sons live, but sleep in my truck.
Okay, I'll appoint your lawyer today, Mr. Esqueda. But when I mean no contact, I'm absolutely serious. Don't, for the time being, we can always revisit. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So just what I want you to do is really appreciate this, you know? Because luckily something worse didn't happen. It could have gone, I mean, it just could have been so much worse, and luckily it's not, you know. We see so much worse things around here. It's awful, some of the things that we see. We want to prevent that from happening. And sometimes this is what it takes for you and everyone to appreciate it. So for now, I'll just have you take a seat at your box. Let me find your lawyer. Okay. All right. Thanks. I only want to set this. Can you reach out to the Mac for Mr. Esqueda? So tell me about the test, please.
Judge, Ms. Lewis had a medical marijuana card from Louisiana.
It makes no difference to me.
Your Honor, she does have lupus, so I think that's the reason she was given the prescription for the medical marijuana.
In Louisiana, great, but you're not in Louisiana. You're not allowed to use, and I made it a condition of your bond that you're not allowed to use. You're in direct violation of your bond. And no means no. You have a DWI. How do I know that you're not going to smoke marijuana, get another DWI with a marijuana case? Because it's don't matter what, it doesn't have to be just alcohol. DWIs can be with marijuana, they can be with PCP, they can be with cocaine, they could be with whatever. It could be NyQuil. If you drink too much NyQuil, what does it do? You get intoxicated and you can pick up a DWI. It could be an ambient DWI. It doesn't mean just alcohol. That's why we tell you not to use any intoxicating substances. Don't use illegal substances. So what all did she test positive for?
It was just teeth.
She wanted to let the court know that she did submit the medical marijuana license and her diagnosis to her pretrial officer, and she just
Oh,
wanted to
I
say,
missed
she was
that
trying to be
so
upfront about it from the beginning.
We're not allowed to use. How old is this case?
74, 46 days old, I think. I believe.
Miss Lewis, in the state of Texas, it is still illegal, and you are not allowed to use it. If you have a problem with that, then go to the legislature and change it. But while I'm here, I have to follow the law. I've sworn to do it, and you are not to use marijuana. I get that you may have a medical condition, but you still can't use. I've ordered it as a condition of your bond. You are going to have to find another way to deal with that issue. There are plenty of other ways that you can treat.
remember going to MIRC to try to get movies and software and songs? Oh, that was so much fun. It would take a day or two for a movie to finally download. You would start getting the package from MIRC, and then you would just leave your computer alone for like 2 days.
That issue, marijuana, is not one of them. Do you understand? And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to test you 35 days. I will give you a pass today. But if I find that you use again, And I don't care what your excuse is, I'm going to lock you up. I don't like to put people in jail, but just, some people just don't get it. And I don't know. You have to find another way to medicate, but marijuana is not.
They're the legal movies, the ones that were
You will
free
get
for
tested
everybody.
40 days from today. And if you're still positive for marijuana, then I'm gonna lock you up. Do you understand? So we will reset this case for 40 days. She'd come back in 40 days. We will test her again. Hopefully she's negative.
Thank you, that's all I have.
You're skirting thin ice, man. There's absolutely no excuse. No alcohol, no marijuana, nothing. Nothing that has THC, CBD, nothing. Okay.
Right this way. Can you sign my Judge, you ready for the next one?
No, sorry. I need to sign these long conditions I've been waiting on. Is court 3 still need us though? I still gotta go to court 3. Guys, I gotta run. I have to go to court 3 because the judge is gone and we're helping out. Linus, what is that?
Janice, thank you. That's awesome. Aaron will be so happy.
Is ATX coming? Are people gonna come visit us?
She said she was.
ATX, are you gonna come
She said
visit?
it's a 3-hour drive.
Maybe we can get Bill to come too. Huh?
Yeah, Bill,
Bill, you wanna come hang out with us?
tell him bring that twig from his front yard.
Hey, AJ. Wow, AJ from Germany. Wonderful.
Because it was longer, I got demonetized.
We're happy to have
Do you
you,
want the
ATX.
PSR for the person?
Yeah, I guess they never came.
Yeah, in case they come back.
Who was the lawyer on that?
Erica and Garza. They said they were gonna do a walkthrough. I don't know if it's a-
Maybe. All right, guys, we're gonna go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I have to run to another court to go do more work. Thanks.
Bye, Judge. Have a great day, Judge. Have a good weekend. Don't get arrested, Judge. Oh, that would be terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I think once you're in front of a camera, then you can't do stuff that'll get you arrested because it just, makes people sad. Oh, I liked her. Why did she do that? Oh, I loved him. Why did he do that? Tokyo, thank you. Shelly and Robin and Jude and Cutie Pie and Kelly will all thank you. And if they don't, we said thank you anyways. Yes. Germany, Belgium. All right, guys, it's time for the weekend. It's time for my craziest to begin. It's time for you guys to relax and do something fun this weekend. Like, I don't know, drive at least 40 minutes away or take a bus or an Uber to like the next town over or something, at least 40 minutes away, and go check out something cool there. But for the love of God, don't go to the courthouse and check out the cafeterias because that was just a bad idea. And I'm sorry I said it. Hey, Robin. Oh, Linus, please tell me you know one. You could probably just Google it right now and pretend. Yep, go ride a bike. Go ride a bicycle. Wonder if I could rent a bike anywhere near here. I don't think so. I don't know anywhere. Oh, wait, no, they have those bikes in the city that you like put your credit card in or something and you can ride it around and then just leave it where you leave it and then it just charges your card. Do you know what I mean? Like you just walk up to the bike, or it's an app that you just put your card information in and then it unlocks the bike and you can ride the bike around and then you leave it like where you get to the place that you get to, you just leave it there. E-bike, I don't think it's an e-bike. No, it's a bike that you ride. There's no like little motor on it or anything. Philly? I'm not going to Philly to ride a bike unless there's a free cheesesteak in it. Okay, I'll go to Philly. Bye, Kelly. Thank you, love. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I love screaming out your name. I'm at work sometimes and I scream out your name. I remember when the first doctor broke the fourth wall and everybody had a fit. Well, I wasn't alive back then, but I heard you broke that fourth wall during Christmas. Anyway, that's just the first doctor. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. I really appreciate it. I shall see you all tomorrow. Behave, be good. Love you. Bye.
Got these lights that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her street sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted, sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Street tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each string, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted, sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted, sharp. In a way, there's no alarm.